You're hearing all the stories online, on social media about your friends getting stuck at the border or stuck at the airport. It's a scary time, I understand. I'm here to break down to you today what is advance parole and when is it and is it not safe to travel. I'm attorney Jennifer Bennett. I'm an immigration attorney here in the Chicagoland area, and I've been practicing immigration law for over 15 years. I love helping immigrants one visa at a time. So, what is advance parole? Advance parole is a type of travel permit, essentially, that we apply for during your green card application process. So what that means is your green card application, in other words, your adjustment application, is already filed and pending with the immigration agency. And we file for your advance parole, in other words, your travel permit, either at the same time we file your green card application or while it's already pending. Once this advance parole application is approved and you receive the travel permit and have it in hand, then we can talk about whether it's truly safe for you to travel at that moment in time or not. Why does this even exist? Well, because the green card application process can take a really long time. Sometimes it takes a few months and sometimes it takes a few years. And so typically you have family that are back home, maybe your parents are elderly or your sister's back home and someone becomes ill or sick and you need to go to tend to your family affairs and help out and lend a hand. And you're going to need to travel. But if you leave the United States without the advance parole travel permit in hand, while your green card, or in other words, your adjustment application is pending with the immigration agency, your green card application can be denied. But even worse, you might not get back into the U.S. So your case is denied, you've lost your filing fees, you've lost your place in line, and you're going to have to wait in your home country and start the application process from abroad. You're going to be separated from your spouse who's in the U.S., for example, for probably another 2 years. So it's a really big deal. You can't leave the U.S. without the travel permit in hand if your green card application is only pending. Once the travel permit is approved, that doesn't guarantee that you're definitely going to get back into the U.S. So I always tell my clients, even after the permit is approved by immigration, I want you to pick up the phone and call us so we can do a full travel analysis. We're going to ask you questions, look at your immigration history. We're going to make sure that you are in immigration court, that you don't have a prior deportation order or a criminal offense, or quite frankly, anything in your immigration history that's going to cause you troubles if you travel on the travel permit and you come back in. We want your process and your travel to be smooth and worry-free. Okay, so let's say that your green card application is pending and you have the advance parole travel permit in hand. What do you need to travel? I always recommend that my clients make sure that they carry the travel permit. That's a must. Now, sometimes the travel permit comes in the form of a combo card. So that means that your work permit also serves as your travel permit. And you will know that because it will say so at the bottom of the work permit. However, other times it comes separate from your work permit and it will be an official full-sized piece of paper with a perforated card on the bottom and/or your photo on it. We will always help you identify what your official travel document is before you leave, but you have to have the official travel document in hand. Also, you have to have your home country passport and you have to make sure that it's valid for at least 6 months beyond your anticipated return date, or they're not going to let you leave the U.S. Now, I always also recommend to carry with you a copy of your I-485 application receipt notice. In other words, your green card or your adjustment application receipt notice. All right, this all sounds really confusing, right? I know it does. That's why in my office, we receive probably 20 phone calls a week of clients that are asking, can I travel? Is it safe to travel? What do I need to travel? And either going it alone without a lawyer or not having a good lawyer that you have good communication with and just taking your risk in traveling could be detrimental. It's crucial that you have a good lawyer that you feel comfortable calling and talking to so that we can guide you through the process and make sure that you can travel home with the least worry possible and have the most success getting back in smoothly. So again, just to recap a little bit more clearly and calmly, Advanced parole is basically just a travel permit. It's a special travel permit for people whose green card application is pending. And just because immigration approves it does not guarantee that you're going to get back into the United States if you travel with it. If you've had any criminal or immigration violations in the past, we have to flag that and talk about it before you travel. Travel is always your decision, but what we can do is guide you by giving you facts and information so you can make an intelligent decision about whether it's a risk you're comfortable taking or not. We can never eliminate all of the risk entirely. Let's say that you decide to travel and you get stopped. I want you to know that you need to be honest and cooperative with the customs officer at the airport asking you questions. If they pull you into secondary inspection at the airport, the customs officer is going to ask you to raise your right hand and swear you're telling the truth. And they're going to take a sworn statement under oath. And what they're going to do is ask you a number of questions to try to pinpoint inconsistencies, to get you, in other words, because they're looking to make sure that information that you have filed on prior applications is the same as what you're telling them in that moment. Now, as you can imagine, maybe you've just come off of a 20-hour flight from overseas. You're going to be tired, hangry, and cranky. So what's most important is that you're prepared to fully cooperate and be 100% transparent and honest, because that sworn statement taken in that little room at the airport can be used against you in deportation court. So you traveled and you've made it back into America. Fantastic. What do we need to do after you come back to the U.S.? It's important to touch base with your attorney again, because we want to find out, did you have a smooth process? Was there any questioning? Is there anything that we need to be proactive and prepared for that might impact your pending green card application? Again, it's 2025. It's a scary time in this political climate, and you want to make sure if you're going to travel that you are safe and you've assessed all risks. If you want expert advice to make sure that it's safe to travel and you want to make sure that you've eliminated as many risks as possible, contact our office today. We'll be happy to help you assess the situation. I'm attorney Jennifer Bennett. I'm an immigration attorney here in the Chicagoland area, but I help immigrants all over the United States, and I love helping immigrants one visa at a time.